Good evening, it's Dave at All the Things Important Reviews. Thanks for checking my channel out. Please smash that subscribe button, please smash that like button. I've got with me today a cheap homage watch. I picked it up because it was so cheap, I will admit. It's an Addiesdive, however you pronounce that. Obviously, Chinese manufacturer. It's I don't know why it's got Divers 200 because it's not Divers 200 certified. It's a 200 meter water resist if you believe their specs. 40mm nominal, 13.3mm thick stainless steel bracelet with tinny deployant clasp with flip lock. But it does have solid bracelet with solid end links. The clasp is a bit of an afterthought, but I'll talk about that later. Mineral crystal, it's not sapphire, but it does have a ceramic bezel and it does have fully loomed. I picked it up because it was so cheap. I think I paid in the sale £39 for it. I think it was something like that. Now it's gone up because I picked it up in the last sale. It's gone up about 20% now, I think, but it's still very cheap. Start off with the specs. I've measured it. The bezel is 40mm diameter, pretty much bang on. The lug to lug is 47.1. The thickness is, I think I got 13.4 and 13.3. Can you see that though? The crystal is proud of the bezel, so it does. So some of that thickness is in the crystal, which is good because I don't particularly like super thick watches. Sizing is good, is very good. It could obviously be a touch thinner. However, on the wrist, it feels absolutely excellent. It feels super comfortable, and I can only put it down to the bracelet being kind of cheapish quality, having not as much weight perhaps as some of the other homages, making it, I should have took that off, making it kind of light, but it is super comfortable. I actually did an unboxing, but I've lost the video. I think I accidentally deleted it, but you do get a really nice case with a warranty card. Not that I would ever send it back to China. With the user manual, and you get a little adjust tool. I think I only took off one link. Yep, I do, because I have quite big wrists at nearly 7.25 inch. So the sizing is fine. It's extremely comfortable on the wrist. You can obviously see just by looking at it that they've used the indices are loomed. They are loomed very good actually, but they're loomed in a kind of creamy colour, as you can see. The creamy colour does not match with the markings on the dive bezel, sorry, which is a shame, but you know, it's not the end of the world. I think it does make it look a little bit quirky. It is a mineral crystal, but this is a super cheap watch. I'm not going to super complain about that at the price that I paid. The Cyclops is very clear, looks fine to me. Minimalist dial, it says Addiesdive with a kind of bit of a childish logo, not the best logo in the world, but it is a logo, and it is, you know, it is something. I don't buy sterile dial watches, very, very rarely. I don't like them. It says Divers 200 meter. As far as I'm aware, a Divers 200 meter means that it must have met the international ISO spec of whatever it is, to be put through various tests to ensure that it can withstand, you know, 20 atmospheric pressure to go diving underwater. This watch hasn't obviously been through that. I'm fairly certain it's not. They've just used it because they're either ignorant or stupid as to why they've put Divers 200. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an IP lawyer. I don't know if it breaches anything. I don't know. But I think it's sloppy to put on 200 meter Divers 200M if it's not really got it. It could be a 200 meter watch, but it won't have got that accreditation to put it on the dial, I don't think. The bezel feels good, bit of back play, but the bezel is teethy, feels Feels okay. I've certainly felt worse than that. Does feel a little bit uneven when you turn it sometimes. But no, feels okay. The reho, that's the ring that is vertically up, is completely plain, which is again fine. Minimalist dial, it's jet black, piano black, it's not sunburst. I'm sick to death of seeing sunburst watches at the minute. It is a black ceramic bezel as well, so it is obviously straight up plain. However, to mix it up a bit, they've polished the center links, which does make it look a little bit dressier, a little bit. Let's talk about the case back. Well, the crown, I felt the crown is fine, doesn't feel gritty or anything like that, it pulls out fine. Oh, I should have said, this is a quartz watch. Yeah, I bought it as well because it's a quartz. And so for people who just want a cheap little desk diver, you know, it's surprising what you can actually get for 40 quid. It actually is, really, you know what I mean? What you're actually getting in this watch. And it's super accurate because it's got the quartz in it. I'll put the specs down below it to what it is, whether it's a Miyota or whatever it is, quartz. So obviously the crown is not signed, unfortunately. And the case back, you couldn't get plainer. It has a Rolex style super plain case back. Again, not my favourite. I like to see some markings on there. But again, for the price, I'm not going to complain too much. Talk about the bracelet. So the positives of the bracelet are the pins. Well, the positives of the bracelet are the links are solid. The end links are solid. And the push pins work fine. It's not screw pins, but push pins are so easy to use. And the number of watches that I've had where I can't get the screw pin out because they've put too much Loctite on it, they put too much glue on it, the manufacturer, is unbelievable now, and it's pissing me off actually, with Pagani and other manufacturers that have put on too much, even other watch brands, that micro brand Alexander, they put too much glue on it, meaning that it was extremely difficult to get rid of the screws. So screws are not all they're cracked up to be. Yes, I prefer them, but if the watch manufacturer makes a mistake and puts two, or they just become busted, the pins are consistently easier to get out. So pins, I don't mind pins. I can easily get them out myself. Now, I don't like them with all kind of collars and all that other systems and stuff. I do like it just a pin. And it even tells you which way to push it out. So, that's what she said. No, yeah. So the bracelet, the positives are, it is fully solid. Obviously, the clasp isn't. It is super, super comfortable. However, downsides, it's a bit jangly. That is super jangly. So I don't know how good the quality is of the joints there and the pins inside. Probably not the best. And the clasp has a horrible, tinny, pressed metal clasp. However, it is functional. Make no bones about it. It is functional. You know, clips into position. You know, the vast majority of people, we play with clasp. We do all kinds of stuff with clasp because we're watch fanatics. But ultimately, the vast majority of people just whack it on and forget about it. And that's what you should do, really. And, you know, this might last years and years, even though it's a pile of crap. The actual, you know, that metal is what, $0.5 if that? $0.5 metal is super, super cheap. So what you can do is, you can either go on AliExpress and get a heavier duty one, which is what I have actually done. I've decided, but I would have liked as well 4 micro adjusts than 3. So I've ordered one. You can get one off Strap Code. Well, the Strap Code do some really good, like, divers ones that have the quick adjust, a ratcheting system, but it's completely overkill, I think, on some of these watches. On this watch, I just want a simple clasp, but I'm not happy with them swing arms. So I've just basically swapped it for one that cost me, I think it was $9, which off eBay, which is about, what, £7, 7 GBP. So I've ordered it. It's going to be coming in a few weeks, and I'm going to switch it over. It's exactly the same, but just has thicker swing arms here. There's no diver's extension, but again, I'm not bothered. I'm not going to use that. But if you're bothered about it, that's a tiny criticism. Yeah, but on the wrist, let me just show you this. Oh, you can get it in loads of different colours. You can get it in the Starbucks style. That is, let me tell you this now, that even though it's 13.5 mil thick, that is super, super light and comfy. You can easily get away with wearing this all day. It's comfier, I'm not joking, it's comfier than the Paganis. It is comfy. Now look, the bracelet isn't perfect. You know, it's not the best kind of connections between each link. But you know what? It's comfortable. I would actually like it a tiny bit tighter, but there's not enough micro adjust holes to do that. And if I take it out and put it on the lowest one, if I put another, sorry, yeah, if I take out a link and then move it to the third one, it's too tight for the way I like it. So I'm just going to wait till this new clasp comes. But you can get it in blue, you can get it in a green, you can get it in a green and black, you can get it in loads of different colours. Do you know what? For 40 quid, I mean, you're paying a bit more now. It's an excellent buy. I'm not joking. Would I trust the water resist of 200 metres? Nope. Would I swim with it on holiday? Absolutely. Would I take it in the sea? Absolutely. Would I go snorkeling with it? Absolutely. Of course I would. I mean, if you go on the Watch You Seek forum, you will see that even though water resistance is like a massive topic, it really is, and you can spend days and days reading about it, I know for a fact, people, it's well documented all across the internet, but I'm not taking any liability if anyone listens to this advice and goes and does it and thinks that it applies for every single watch. But the point is that with Casio, Victorinox, and with some other kind of massive brands that have massive turnover, and obviously they do produce quality watches, they've took watches with 30 metre water resist, they've took them diving 20 metres below sea level, and it's worked fine, and they've been for minutes and minutes on end doing it. As long as the crown is screwed down, and as long as it has a water, you know, the rubber gaskets in there, as far as I'm aware, the majority of water resist watches would be okay to do that. But again, I'm not going to take any liability on that. That's just what my thoughts are based upon what I've read online from the number of people that have took, you know, 30 metre water resist and they've gone diving with them and it's been completely fine. Now maybe with some of the cheaper brands that they would just fail, but my feeling is I doubt that. You know, to sell a watch on the market that's not very old, I believe it has to have some type of water resistance anyway. So the point is that the whole water resistance thing is overblown. It really is. 99% of people will never go diving anyway. They will only take it on holiday or go swimming frequently. And I would go swimming with this watch, definitely. I wouldn't rely on it in a dive, no way. I wouldn't go diving and say, oh, my life depends on it. I'd have a dive computer as well. But would I take it snorkeling and swimming? Absolutely. As long as that is screwed down, you should be okay. So yeah, so water resist is massively overblown. And you could probably get away with diving with this one as well, but I wouldn't recommend it, but you could probably get away with it. So yeah, this is an excellent watch for the price. It's super, super comfortable. It really is. You can get a replacement clasp for 10 quid, okay, off eBay or AliExpress. You can get one with link swing arms that are over a mil thick, about a mil thick, that are that's better machined, right? You can do that. It does look a touch dressy. It's an all-round watch. It's a great little desk diver. Be a great everyday watch for people that don't want to spend a lot of money, that want to spend, say, you know, up to 50 quid on a watch. I know people that will not spend more than 50 quid on a watch. My friend wears a 12-pound Casio watch, which I think has 50 metre water resist. He wears that every day. He wears it to weddings. He doesn't give a toss. Most people don't care about watches. Obviously we do, but it's just a hobby. That's all it is, you know. And the vast majority of people will not even look at your watch. The vast majority of people won't even look at it. Another interesting thing about this watch is that the end links, they don't stick out too far. You know, they go down pretty well. I don't know. It's a good little watch for £40 what I paid for it. You might have to pay more than that now, but if you can get it in a deal, I think there's a deal coming up soon. Just, you know, pick them up. I'm going to pick it up as well in the blue, just so I've got it. Right, thanks for checking my channel out, thanks for checking my reviews out. There's loads more coming up. I really am going to ramp up the videos. I've got loads of watches on order. I'm not the kind of person that wears gloves or does any of that bullshit. I'm straight up, I'm to the point. I buy watches that I like the look of principally and has the functionality to back it up where possible. But I am a visual person. I do like the Rolex style of Submariner. It's one of my favourite watches of all time. So I do like these kind of dive style watches. You know, they're a great all-round watch because of the design that, you know, they've utilised with this. It's not straight up utilitarian diver that looks completely tooly and, you know, you feel, oh, I can't wear that out. You could wear this to a wedding if you wanted to, easily. You know, it's quite a formalish look to it with the straight black face, black dial. You know, it's quite plain and generic, really. So thanks for checking my channel out. Thanks for hitting the subscribe and like. There's loads more stuff coming up. Please check them out. Nice one.